Hey guys, it's pretty late, but I'm actually recording in my classroom in between shifts teaching ESL in China since it is morning Beijing time. So thus the super colorful background. But I wanted to record here in particular because this course has been very applicable to my job, and I wanted in my reflective video to talk through some of the ways that I have incorporated what I've learned in this class. So my big takeaways from this course. First of all, I walked into the course expecting it to be about how to make your classroom more interesting, or e-learning, or whatever. And so this class has really expanded my view of what motivation is beyond just interest to creating intrinsic motivation and um, giving your students a true desire to learn what you are teaching. So that has been amazing. The two theories I definitely connected with the most were intrinsic motivation and then also goal orientation theory, which is what I did my final project over. Both of these theories explained so much to me about struggles that I had as a high school English teacher, about things that I can do better in my job now, about honestly things in my personal life, why some things worked and some things different. So to start off with teaching applications. So for my job, I teach small children. And we're required for each 25-minute class to have a reward system where, congratulations, you get a reward. Your princess can have a blue or a pink dress. Which one do you want? So before, I would break down these rewards and I would have your princess get whatever every 5 minutes. So if the student participated, they got the award. And after learning about goal motivation theory, I no longer do that. Instead, I am working on using the reward system only after a student has really done something that has exhibited effort or growth. And it has been really interesting to me to see how much more excited my students get about the rewards now that they actually can tell that they mean something, that they really legit earned it. That's been exciting. Um, Also, I've done similar things with praise. I'm trying to tell my kids less, you're really good at this, and more of, good job working hard on this, good job, using your verb, noun conjugations correctly. Then also making the classes moderately challenging. My very first teaching job was in inner city Houston, which was a bad idea for first year of teaching, just FYI. But my students struggled to pass the class, often because they weren't turning any work in. And so my solution to this was to continually make the work easier and easier, figuring it's got to get to such a level that like they can't not do the work. That was totally not true. As I made the work easier and easier, students did less and less work because they were getting more and more bored. And this led to so many difficult things that happen when you have 35 bored high schoolers in a room together in inner city Houston. It was fun times. So this course has just explained to me a lot about what has gone wrong in my teaching career and a lot of things I want to improve in the future and that I'm improving right now. And then also, this course has explained a lot to me about my personal motivations for what has worked and what hasn't. While I've been in grad school, I lost 65 pounds of weight, which was, I've been lifelong obese. I have tried many times to lose the weight, and this time it worked. And a lot of people have asked what changed. And so that happened before I took this course, but it's really interesting because a lot of what I learned in this course about things that work for motivation are things that I did without even realizing it, like setting short-term, moderately challenging goals, as opposed to saying, I want to lose all of this weight. I said, I want to eat broccoli 5 times a week, or I want to hit this calorie goal this many times a week, whatever it was. Or even at my very first step was to weigh myself daily, and I just did that for a while. So that was really interesting to me to see just why some things in my life have worked well and how I can use that same strategy to impact totally non-teaching related areas of my life. Questions that I walk away with real quick. So I really want to know, how do you incorporate novel, technologies, um, elements into teaching without either A, them being so new and exciting that they distract the students and take away from the material you're teaching, or B, they're really exciting initially, but then you use them so often that they become boring and old hat. A really good example of this when I was teaching high school English, Kahoot. My kids loved it so much. They got so excited and totally didn't pay attention at all. And I could have done a better job of recapping the information and incorporating it better. I really do feel like more structure would have been better in the way I'd used it. However, students would get just so utterly, insanely excited about it that they wouldn't actually learn from it. Or after I used it enough times, they got utterly bored and stopped paying attention or participating. So how do you balance that? And then also, I kind of want to learn more about how to use groups effectively for motivation. I've struggled a lot when teaching in the high school environment with using groups so that they, yes, had those heterogeneous groups that combined ability levels without the upper ability people doing all of the work and the lower ability people just sitting back and doing nothing, while allowing groups to set their own norms and expectations and build community in that way. And then also while structuring the work so that the assignments themselves work effectively in a group setting. So yeah, I'd love to learn more about how to use groups well, because I think they can be a really powerful tool when done correctly, and they can be the absolute worst when they fail. So yeah, thank you so much for this course. I have to say it is one of my favorites throughout the entire program. I have learned so much, and so it's been awesome to work with you guys. Have a great night.